Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so over the last couple of days on the streams and in some of the video comments, I have had people asking me, when is the part 2 of the celebration going to start? Obviously, you know, people waiting for the next slew of content. A bunch of events are getting their new stages. We have new Easy A's coming, all sorts of stuff. And yesterday we got the release of the 230 stage Easy A's, the Physical Super Vegito and the STR Super Buu. Both of those units in a bit of a weird spot because obviously Buu, kind of like the LR Super Buu, whilst he does have a 200% lead for him specifically, kind of still waiting for them to really drop a proper like full Buu team that we can run on a 200% lead. Although to be fair, like STR Super Buu, still very impressive on a 170 team. That's how I did my showcase video for him yesterday. But of course, Physical Super Vegito, very disappointing. Plus, you know, 230 stage Easy A's, it doesn't take a huge amount of time to get through that content. So a lot of people are just wondering when the next stuff is going to come out. You know, get some more stones from doing these new stages of events. I know for people who haven't pulled the new LRs, obviously trying to get all the extra stones possible. Plus, at least, you know, when you do pull the new units, you get to try them out on different teams and in different scenarios. Whereas if you haven't managed to pull them, obviously it is a bit more of an awkward situation where you don't really have a bunch of new stuff that you can really be doing in the game. So we haven't had a data download that shows like the actual time and release date of the units, because obviously at some point we will get, even if it's just a mini data download, we will see in the files the exact release date and time for like the Easy A's, for like the TUR for Hercule and the LR form for Bardock, and that will give us the exact time that it's going to start. But we can, using the basis of the anniversary on JP, work out the same kind of time frame. Now, it's not going to be an exact science. We can probably pick out the day, but we won't know exactly the timing for some of the stuff, because like the Physical Super Vegito and Super Buu Easy A's dropped at the reset instead of the normal Easy A time. So we don't know if the part 2 ones will as well. Maybe the new stages will drop at that time, or maybe they'll drop at the normal event time, which is a few hours later. But we should be able to work out the day. So this is the part 1 on global. All of this stuff obviously is what we've been experiencing for the last week or so. We come all the way down to the bottom. This is where we are now. Obviously, we got this battlefield on Monday the 10th, and then Wednesday the 12th, which was yesterday, we had the 230 stage Easy A's. Now, essentially, the way we can work this out is I've got the part 1 for JP up on here, so we can see that the Easy A's released on the 3rd of February. So, and then this one should be the 1st, right? Yeah, so, well, it was the last day of January, so the same sort of time frame, right? So 3rd of February is when the Easy A's released over on JP. So then if we go to part 2 on JP, for some reason they list the Easy A's first. So the Easy A's are here, they dropped on the 13th. So if we compare that to the 3rd, right, that's 10 days later these came out. So as today is the day after those Easy A's, we should expect these to come probably in 9 days. But for some reason, I don't know why these are listed first. If we scroll down here, we get the new part 2 missions that get added, and then we have the new stages of the Shadow Dragon event, the new stages of the free-to-play story event. We've got the King Kai like thing event that gives a bunch of the free link level keys, and a new stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history. All of this dropped on the 9th of February. So if we look back here, this dropped on the 3rd. That means there was 6 days until the release of all the part 2 stuff. So obviously by applying the same logic to this, then we would expect these to release on the 18th, right? 6 days later. So that is going to be Tuesday, the 18th. Now, I think that these stages are going to drop at the reset, so it's going to be technically Tuesday, but like super early in the morning, at least for me, right? Because this is listed in, is it the global time? Actually, this is 1 hour behind UK time, so I think it's because we're in daylight savings, right? Because it dropped at like 1 AM for me, but it says midnight. So technically it would have been, it will still be the Tuesday morning. So I guess if you're in the US, then technically that means that part 2 is starting on Monday evening. So Monday evening is when we would expect all of this stuff to come. Obviously, we're getting the extra stages for this Bardock story event. So the important thing is stage 5, which drops these medals, which you need to farm up in order to get him awakened into the LR. How many is it you need again? You got 50. Whew. So bear in mind, if you want to get the LR full free to play, like you need 2 SA10 copies that you merge together, and then an SA5 copy that you add in after the EZA. So that means you need to farm 150 of these medals from stage 5. So quite a bit of grinding. Obviously you want to run the full worldwide chaos team with as many LRs as possible so you get the extra boost, and then of course you use one of those support memories, the leveled up Oolong or the Buller Go Shopping. I think the maxed out level Oolong one has the exact same boost as the Buller one, so they are as effective now. So you just use the whichever one first until you've used up those film reels, then use the next one. And then I usually just go back and restock now that you can get them with the green gems. But yeah, you need 150 of those. So you'll be able to get Bardock up to an LR. But obviously this is still before the very last part of the anniversary where he's going to get an Extreme Z area and actually get his EZA. So we will only have him in the normal LR form. Now that does mean he does already pick up the standby, so you can transform into Majin Vegeta. You'll obviously be able to see the finish attack animations. So for those of you who just want to see the animations in game, you obviously will be able to use him at this form, but he just isn't EZ8 yet. So obviously he's not the finished product, he's not as good, but you can take him into events and try him out. I probably won't do a video until he's fully EZ8, but definitely worth taking him into an event and checking out the animations, especially if you get the early finish without fully charging, because then you actually get a Majin Vegeta attack animation, whereas if you fully charge it, the animation is Fat Boo hatching from the cocoon and then he attacks. So worth checking out, but obviously the unit's not going to be Extreme Z awakened yet. And then same with this event, we get the extra stages here so we can farm these medals. These medals will then awaken the physical Hercule into a TUR. He can be okay, but again, same boat as the Bardock, where he's not going to be getting his EZA until the last part of the anniversary, so nothing too crazy going on there. For now, obviously just get him awakened, get a spare SA5 copy awakened, so that when he does get the EZA, you can feed that one in as well to get the free SA15. And then this one, the Goku and Rivals event, we get the stage 5 onwards added, which allows you to farm this extra support memory, Piccolo's Encouragement. Now, unfortunately, this one, you guys can tell me if you see any interesting ideas for usage of this one, but this support memory to me does kind of seem completely pointless. All allies key +3 and all super allies key 1 in addition when there is a Saviours category ally on the team, when HP is 59% or below once only. So let's say you're running a Saviours character on the team anyway. When you get to a point in a difficult event where you take a big hit and you drop below 59% HP, we already have support memories in the game that will do things like give you extra defense, give you a heal, and this one gives you 4 key, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're running a team with a bunch of LRs, that could be cool, right? You could pretty much guarantee you're getting your 18 key supers on that turn. But yeah, that just seems like such an odd thing. Like, if you're going to use a support memory in an event, I don't see key 4 once only on one turn that only triggers below a certain HP restriction. I mean, honestly, this just seems completely pointless to me. Like, I can't think of a time where I would ever use this over using one of the other ones that we have available. So that is a little bit disappointing, but I mean, obviously there are missions tied to this. Obviously for beating the stages, you get the stones. By completing the support memory, you get another stone. Funnily enough, the mission to use it, you just get the film back. So if you don't actually ever want to use it, there isn't even really any reason to ever do this mission. But as I don't like having uncompleted missions in my thing, so I probably will use it just for the sake of finishing off this mission. But you do get a few stones out of it, so obviously still worth doing, even if the support memory kind of sucks. And then we get the update to the Shadow Dragon event. Now, interestingly, we got 3 stages at the beginning, and we get 3 stages at this beginning of part 2. So we get Naturon Shenron, who has 2 phases, Nova Shenron and Ice Shenron, and then it's only Sin by himself as the final stage is the one that gets released in the final part. So I've heard from the JP side, like Nova and Ice actually can get to a point where they can hit pretty hard. Nova can dodge, and then Ice, look at all these symbols that Ice has. So obviously they can't be stunned or sealed anyway, can't be attack lowered or defense lowered, although actually it seems like Nova can be attack lowered, which is good. Ice disables evasion, so you cannot dodge against Ice Shenron, so do remember that before you go into the stage. And then he can lock you in certain rotations as well. I don't know if he guarantees to do it in every single turn, but yeah, rotation locking, my least favorite mechanic that bosses do. I've mentioned that numerous times before, so that is pretty annoying. But these 3 stages all come out on with all this new content, so obviously we'll be doing videos on all of those. The only ones I didn't open here, we've got the King Kai event and then the Dragon Ball History. I did a video at the beginning of the anniversary talking about all the events that are coming out, so I have talked about it very briefly already. But this King Kai thing is an event that can be challenged 3 times a week. You beat King Kai, it's just a stage that has an increased chance to link level your characters. So for those of you who are still trying to finish link leveling any new units you've pulled for the anniversary, this gives you a much increased chance every time you beat the stage. And the missions, obviously you beat it 3 times in 1 week. So once you've beaten it 9 times and you've done all the missions, you get 5 of these link level keys, which allows you to do 1 run on the stage. And for those of you who've never done it before, because the keys were only ever available to buy with actual money, when you do a run on that stage, every single unit on the team gets every single one of their links go up by 1 guaranteed. So the strategy would be to try and get as many of your units that you're link leveling, get as many of their links to 9 as you can, and then, you know, take them off the team. And if you still want to do some link leveling, potentially start doing some other units. And then you go into the event with all your units that have all their links at 9, and then you get that lovely screen that comes up at the end where all of their links go up to 10 at the same time. So this is the first time these keys have been available for free, so do make sure you do these. Even if you save the keys for a later date, they are obviously very good for finishing off those characters to link level 10. And then the Infinite Dragon Ball History stage is the... Have they updated it already on here? No, that's the new one that came out on JP. So it's this one, versus Warriors Fighting Demons. So Gohan, Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Gotenks and Piccolo, Ultimate Gohan, Vegito, Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, and then Base Form Spirit Bomb Goku. The missions are for just beating it all within 18 turns, and then 3 Majin Power characters and 3 Power of Wishes characters. So obviously I'll do a video on this. I always try and do a video where we beat both the missions at the same time, which I'm pretty sure is possible. I mean, if you just used a Boo Saga team, you could definitely do these, but there's probably a few different combinations you can do. So that is all the stuff that's going to come out at the start of part 2. Obviously, as we talked about, looking at the dates on here, the extra EZAs are going to come out in a couple of days afterwards. I personally do like the way they're drip feeding the content of the anniversary. I would rather they have a couple of things come out every few days rather than release, like, you know, 10 things on day 1 and then they don't release anything for like a week and a half. Like, I personally don't like that. Plus, you know, as a content creator, I don't want to make 10 videos in one day and then have nothing to do the day after. So having stuff spread out is definitely better for me. But let me know what you guys think about the format down below. As I said, we should be expecting this to start on the 18th. So it's going to be early Tuesday morning for me or late Monday evening if you're in the US. So until then, I mean, that's only a couple of days, right? We've got the weekend to go. I'll be doing some streams over the weekend, probably more viewer challenge stuff. I've got some more teams I want to showcase with the anniversary units. So still a few things to be doing in the game. And then the part 2 stuff is going to be starting very soon. So let me know what you guys think down below. And let me know what is the one thing from the part 2 that you are most looking forward to. Let me know that in the comments down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.